The old salvage ship Lucky Break drifted slowly through the asteroid belt. Its hull was patched in a dozen places, and its engines made noises that would worry most space travelers. But Captain Jack Reynolds wasn't most space travelers. "Anything on the scanners, Dana?" Jack asked, leaning over the pilot's chair. Dana brushed her short red hair from her eyes and shook her head. "Just rocks, Cap. Lots and lots of rocks." Jack sighed. This expedition had cost them nearly the last of their fuel. If they didn't find something valuable soon, they wouldn't make it back to the nearest station. The bank would take the Lucky Break, and that would be the end of his career as an independent salvager. "Wait," Dana said suddenly, adjusting the scanner controls. "I'm getting something. Metal. Big piece. About 2 kilometers starboard." Jack's heart beat faster. "Change course. Let's check it out." The Lucky Break turned slowly, thrusters firing in short bursts as Dana navigated carefully between floating rocks. Then they saw it. "What the hell is that?" Jack whispered. Floating silently among the asteroids was a ship. It was large, at least 3 times the size of the Lucky Break, and unlike anything Jack had seen before. Its hull was dark gray, almost black, with strange angles that seemed to absorb the light from nearby stars rather than reflect it. Parts of it looked damaged, with panels missing and exposed framework. "Looks like junk to me," said Mac, the ship's mechanic who had joined them on the bridge. His massive frame filled the doorway as he wiped grease from his hands. "Old human design, maybe military, but it's been floating out here for years." "Tom, what do you think?" Jack called to their 4th crew member. Tom, a thin man with glasses and the team's technology expert, was already studying the readings. "It's giving off almost no energy signature. Systems are dormant, but—" He paused, adjusting something on his screen. "That's weird. I'm getting faint power readings. Something in there might still be working." Jack smiled for the first time in weeks. "If it's got working tech, it's valuable. Let's claim it." 2 hours later, Jack floated through the silent corridors of the derelict ship in his spacesuit. The artificial gravity was off, and his helmet light cast eerie shadows as he moved. Behind him, Mac examined the ship's structure while Tom tried to access a control panel. "This thing is built solid," Mac said over the comm. "Look at these bulkheads, triple reinforced. And these power conduits are like nothing I've seen before." "Can you get us some lights, Tom?" Jack asked. "Working on it," Tom replied, his fingers dancing over the strange interface. "The system architecture is unusual, but I think I—" Suddenly, lights flickered on throughout the corridor, startling all of them. A moment later, they felt a slight vibration. "What did you do?" Jack asked. Tom looked surprised. "I just bypassed the main security protocol to access the power systems, but this is more than I expected. It's like the ship recognized my attempt and helped me." "Whatever you did, keep doing it," Jack said. "Let's see if we can get life support online. I want to get out of these suits." As they continued exploring, Jack felt increasingly certain they had found something special. Despite its battered exterior, the ship's internal systems seemed intact, just dormant, and some of the technology looked far more advanced than the apparent age of the vessel would suggest. "Cap, you need to see this," Dana called over the comm from another section of the ship. Jack made his way to what appeared to be the bridge. Dana was floating in front of a large, dark console. "What is it?" "Look at the design of this bridge. The weapon systems, the navigation setup. This isn't a cargo hauler or a passenger vessel. This is a warship." Jack examined the stations. Dana was right. The configuration was clearly military, but unlike any modern design he knew. "A warship," he repeated quietly. "That makes it even more valuable, or more dangerous." They were back on the Lucky Break, discussing their find when the trouble arrived. "Captain, we've got company," Dana called from the pilot's seat. "Federation patrol vessel approaching fast." They're hailing us. Jack cursed under his breath. Put them through. The screen flickered, and a stern-faced man in a Federation uniform appeared. The insignia on his collar marked him as a commander. This is Commander Ellis of the Galactic Federation Security Force. You are currently in restricted space conducting unauthorized salvage operations. Identify yourself. Jack straightened his worn jacket. Captain Jack Reynolds of the independent salvage vessel Lucky Break. We have proper permits for salvage operations in this sector, Commander. Ellis's expression hardened. Your permits don't cover military hardware, Reynolds. Our scans indicate you've located a derelict vessel of possible strategic importance. We're confiscating it under Section 47 of the Federation Security Act. That's garbage, and you know it, Jack replied. This is an abandoned vessel in neutral space. First discovery rights apply under the Salvagers Code of 2187. That piece of junk belongs to the Federation now, Ellis said coldly. Move your vessel away or face impoundment. You have 10 minutes to comply. The transmission cut out. Can they do that? Dana asked. Jack's mind raced. They can try. Tom, what did you download from the ship's systems? Tom held up a small data drive. Just basic schematics and system logs. But Jack, there's something strange about this ship. The logs are incomplete, and there's no registration or identification. It's almost like someone wanted it to disappear. Jack made his decision. Donna, send a salvage claim to the Independent Operators Registry. Mac, prep the magnetic clamps. We're attaching to that ship and claiming it now. What about the Federation? Mac asked. We've got the law on our side. Jack smiled grimly. Besides, it's just a piece of junk, right? Let's see how badly they want it. As Dana transmitted their claim, Jack stared at the mysterious ship through the viewport. Something about it called to him, a feeling he couldn't explain. It wasn't just salvage anymore. It was a mystery, and Jack Reynolds had always been bad at walking away from a good mystery. What are you? He whispered to the silent vessel. And why does the Federation want you so badly? As if in response, for just a moment, he thought he saw lights flicker across the derelict's hull, there and gone so quickly he might have imagined it. The game was on, and Jack had just raised the stakes higher than he knew. They're coming back, Dana said, eyes fixed on the scanner. And they've brought friends. Jack looked up from the data pad he was studying. It had been 12 hours since their standoff with Commander Ellis. The Lucky Break was now firmly attached to the derelict ship with magnetic clamps, officially marking their salvage claim. How many ships? Jack asked. 3. 1 patrol cruiser and 2 smaller vessels. Jack sighed. They really want this piece of junk, don't they? Mac entered the bridge, wiping his hands on a rag. It's not junk, Cap. I've been checking the hull structure. This thing is built with alloys I've never seen before. The damaged sections, they're not battle damage. They're designed to look that way, like camouflage. Before Jack could respond, the comm system beeped. Commander Ellis's face appeared on screen, looking even more stern than before. Reynolds, this is your final warning. Detach from that vessel immediately. The Federation Council has issued an emergency order classifying that ship as restricted military hardware. Jack leaned forward. Commander, we've filed our claim legally. Unless you want an incident with the Salvagers Guild. You have 2 weeks, Ellis interrupted. 2 weeks to make that ship operational and prove your claim. If you can't fly it out of this sector under its own power by then, we seize it. Federation law allows for that compromise. The screen went dark before Jack could argue. Can we do it? Dana asked. Get it working in 2 weeks. Jack looked at his small crew. We have to try. Tom, what have you found out about the ship's systems? Tom adjusted his glasses nervously. That's the weird part, Cap. I've been trying to access the main computer, but it's like it's watching me. Sometimes doors open before I can find the controls. Other times, systems shut down when I get close. A security system, Jack suggested. Maybe, but it feels different, like it's making decisions. 3 days later, Jack floated through the dark corridors of the ship they had started calling Phoenix. They had managed to restore emergency lighting and some life support, allowing them to work without suits in most areas. "Tom, any luck with the bridge controls?" Jack asked through his comm. "Still locked out," Tom replied. "But I found something else. There's a sealed room near the center of the ship. The power readings are strongest there. I'm on my way." Jack found Tom outside a large, circular door, unlike any other on the ship. It was unmarked, with no visible control panel. "I can't figure out how to open it," Tom said, frustration clear in his voice. Jack ran his hand over the smooth surface of the door. "What's behind it?" "Based on power readings, I guess the main AI core. If this ship has an artificial intelligence, that's where it would be housed." As if responding to Tom's words, the door suddenly hummed to life. Lights appeared around its edge, and it slowly slid open. "How did you do that?" Jack asked, eyes wide. Tom shook his head. "I didn't." The room beyond was dark except for a soft blue glow coming from a sphere suspended in the center. It was about 1 meter in diameter, hovering without any visible support. As they cautiously entered, the sphere pulsed slightly brighter. "It's beautiful," Tom whispered. A quiet voice spoke, seeming to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "System diagnostics incomplete. Identity verification required." Jack and Tom froze. "It's talking to us," Tom said. "The AI is active." Jack stepped forward. "My name is Captain Jack Reynolds. This is Tom Miller. We found your ship drifting in space." The sphere pulsed again. Voice print analyzed. "Unknown personnel. Security protocols engage." Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind them, and red lights began flashing. "Wait," Tom called out. "We're not enemies. We're trying to help repair your systems." The lights paused their flashing. "System designation. Atlas. Current status. 76% of core functions offline. External threat detected." "External threat?" Jack asked. "Do you mean the Federation ships?" "Negative. Hostiles approaching. Attack pattern detected." As if on cue, Dana's voice came through Jack's comm, filled with panic. "Cap, we've got pirates. 3 ships just dropped out of hyperspace, and they're targeting both us and the Federation patrol." The bridge of the Phoenix was still mostly dark, with only emergency lighting working. Jack, Tom, Donna, and Mac had gathered there after rushing back to see the approaching pirate vessels on the external cameras. "This doesn't make sense," Dana said. "Pirates don't usually attack when Federation ships are present." "Unless someone paid them to," Jack replied grimly. "Ellis wants us off this ship. What better way than to have pirates do his dirty work?" Suddenly, the bridge lit up. Consoles hummed to life, and holographic displays appeared in the air before them. "What's happening?" Mac asked, backing away from a console that had started glowing. Tom's eyes widened. "It's Atlas. The AI is bringing systems online." A calm voice spoke through the ship's comm system. "Defensive protocols engage. Crew safety prioritized." On the main screen, they watched as one of the pirate ships fired a missile toward them. Before anyone could react, a section of the Phoenix's hull that had appeared damaged suddenly shifted. A weapon emerged and fired a pulse of blue energy, destroying the missile. "Did you see that?" Dana gasped. Another pirate ship moved closer, weapons charging. The Phoenix responded immediately, firing what looked like energy nets that disabled the ship's engines. The pirates, clearly not expecting resistance from what they thought was a derelict vessel, began to retreat. Even the Federation patrol ships backed away. When the immediate threat had passed, Jack turned to look at the bridge around them. It was now fully illuminated, revealing sleek, advanced technology that had been hidden beneath what appeared to be damage and age. "Atlas," Jack called out. "Are you there?" The voice returned, slightly stronger now. "System Atlas partially restored. Thank you for your assistance, Captain Reynolds. Our assistance? Tom asked. What did we do? Your presence activated emergency protocols. Your attempts to repair systems provided necessary pathways for core function restoration. This ship has been in self-repair hibernation for, calculating, 27 years, 4 months, 17 days. Jack exchanged looks with his crew. What exactly is this ship, Atlas? There was a pause before the AI responded. This vessel is Project Phoenix, Earth Defense Force Prototype XB-712. Classification: Advanced Adaptive Warship. Current status: 38% operational capacity. Earth Defense Force. Mac whispered. That program was shut down decades ago. Atlas, Tom said carefully. Why were you drifting in that asteroid field? Another pause, longer this time. Memory files corrupted. Last mission parameters classified. Warning: Federation forces are returning. Recommend immediate strategic planning. Jack looked at the screen showing the Federation ships regrouping. Commander Ellis would not be happy about what just happened. Well, crew, Jack said with a grin that was half excitement, half terror. It looks like our piece of junk just became the most wanted ship in the sector. Dana laughed nervously. So what's the plan, Captain? Jack looked around at the advanced bridge of the ship that had just defended them. Atlas, can you get us out of here? Limited propulsion available. Hyperspace capability. Offline. Estimated time to full restoration of flight systems: 4 days. That's cutting it close to Ellis's 2-week deadline, Mac noted. Then we better get to work, Jack said, his determination growing. Because I have a feeling this ship is worth fighting for. As if in agreement, the lights of the Phoenix brightened, and more systems came online around them. The ship was awakening, and their adventure was just beginning. We need to move now, Jack shouted as he ran onto the bridge. Federation ships are powering weapons. It had been 4 days since the Phoenix had revealed some of its capabilities by fighting off the pirates. Since then, the crew had worked non-stop to get more systems online while Commander Ellis and his Federation ships kept a watchful distance. That distance was now closing fast. Atlas, are the engines ready? Jack asked, sliding into the captain's chair that had adjusted itself to his body the first time he sat in it. Main propulsion at 67% capacity, the AI's calm voice responded. Sufficient for planetary speeds but not for hyperspace travel. Dana took her position at the pilot's console. It'll have to do. We can't stay here. Detach from the lucky break, Jack ordered. What? Mac looked up from the engineering station. We're leaving our ship behind. Jack nodded grimly. We have no choice. The Phoenix isn't designed for towing, and the lucky break would slow us down too much. I've put all our personal items and important equipment on board already, Tom added. And I've wiped the lucky break's computers. A warning alarm sounded. Federation vessels firing warning shots, Atlas announced. Shields at 42% capacity. We have shields? Dana asked, surprised. Many systems are still restoring, Atlas explained. Some will activate automatically when needed. Jack made his decision. Brake clamps. Dana, get us out of here. Maximum speed. The Phoenix shuddered slightly as it separated from the smaller salvage ship. Then, with surprising grace for its size, it began to move, quickly picking up speed. On the main screen, they watched as the Federation ships opened fire, their weapons aimed to disable, not destroy. Evasive maneuvers, Jack ordered. Dana's hands flew over the controls. This ship handles better than anything I've ever flown. It's like it knows what I want to do before I do it. Adaptive neural interface is active, Atlas confirmed. The ship will learn your piloting preferences and adjust accordingly. The Phoenix banked sharply, avoiding most of the Federation weapons fire. What did hit them was absorbed by the shields. We're clearing the asteroid belt, Dana reported. Where are we going? Jack thought quickly. We need somewhere to hide and finish repairs, somewhere outside Federation space. The Carver's Drift mining colony is 3 days from here at our current speed, Tom suggested. It's independent, no Federation presence. Set course, Jack ordered. Atlas, can you high our energy signature? Stealth systems are at 54% capacity. I can reduce our profile by 70%, which should be sufficient to evade standard tracking methods. As the Phoenix accelerated away from the Federation ships, Jack felt a moment of triumph, but it was short-lived. Captain, we're being followed, Tom reported. One Federation ship broke off from the group and is pursuing us. It's smaller than the others, probably a fast scout. Can we outrun it? Jack asked. Analyzing, Atlas replied. Negative. The pursuing vessel is a Raptor-class interceptor. It will overtake us in approximately 7 hours. Jack frowned. We need to lose it before we lead it to Carver's Drift. I might have an idea, Max said suddenly. Atlas, does this ship have any decoys or countermeasures? Affirmative. Holographic projection systems are operational at 63% capacity. Mac grinned. Perfect. Here's what we do. 5 hours later, the Phoenix approached a dense nebula that sparkled with energy discharges. The Whisper Cloud, Dana said nervously. Ships don't go in there. The energy storms can fry navigation systems. Atlas, can we survive in there? Jack asked. My shielding can protect against 89% of the nebula's energy discharges. Navigation will be difficult but possible. And the Federation ship. Standard Federation vessels are not equipped for nebula navigation. They would be at significant risk. Jack nodded. Then that's our advantage. Dana, take us in. But first, let's deploy Max Surprise. As they approached the nebula's edge, the Phoenix released what looked like a small probe. Immediately, the probe projected a holographic image that perfectly matched the Phoenix, down to its energy signature. The fake ship veered away from the nebula, heading toward an empty section of space. The Federation ship is following the decoy, Tom reported with a smile. They took the bait. Now, into the nebula, Jack ordered. Nice and slow. The Phoenix looked into the colorful gases of the Whisper Cloud. Flashes of energy crackled around them, but the shields held, glowing softly with each impact. This is amazing, Dana whispered, watching the swirls of purple, blue, and green gases flow around them. No other ship I know could navigate this safely. As they ventured deeper into the nebula, Atlas spoke. Captain Reynolds, I have discovered something of interest. There appears to be a structure within this nebula. A structure? You mean a ship? Jack asked. Negative. Initial scans suggest an artificial habitat or station. It is approximately 3.7 kilometers in diameter. Jack exchanged looks with his crew. Someone built a station inside this nebula. That should be impossible. It matches no known Federation or Allied world's design. Atlas continued. However, there are elements that appear similar to some of my own construction. The bridge fell silent at this revelation. Similar to you? Tom finally asked. You mean whoever built this station also had a hand in building you? That is a logical conclusion, though my memory files on my creation remain partially corrupted. Jack leaned forward in his chair. Atlas, take us closer to this station. Carefully. As they approached the structure, they could see it was indeed a space station, but unlike any they'd seen before. It appeared to be built directly into a large asteroid, with parts of the station seeming to grow organically from the rock. It was dark, with only a few faint lights visible. No life signs detected, Atlas reported. Power readings are minimal, suggesting the station is in a dormant state similar to my own hibernation mode. Can we dock? Jack asked. Scanning for compatible docking ports. Found. Proceeding with docking sequence. As the Phoenix carefully lined up with one of the station's docking arms, Jack stood and faced his crew. This could be the break we need. If this station is related to the Phoenix somehow, it might have parts or information we can use to fully restore the ship. We might even learn what the Phoenix was really built for. Dana looked uncertain. Or it could be a trap. Only one way to find out, Max said, already checking his tool belt. Tom was typing rapidly on his datapad. I'm picking up data transmissions from the station. Very weak, but they started as soon as we got close. It's like it was waiting for us. The Phoenix connected to the dock with a gentle thud. The airlock indicators turned green, showing a secure connection and breathable atmosphere beyond. All right, Jack said, checking his sidearm. Mac, you're with me. Dana, Tom, stay here and keep working with Atlas. If we're not back in 2 hours, or if anything threatens the ship, leave immediately. As Jack and Mac prepared to enter the mysterious station, Atlas spoke again. Captain, I have completed an analysis of the station's visible markings. There is a designation near the airlock. What does it say? Jack asked. It appears to read, Project Phoenix, Cradle Facility. Jack looked at his crew, all showing the same surprise he felt. Well, he said with a forced smile, looks like we've come home. Jack and Mac stepped through the airlock into the dark station. Their flashlights cut through the darkness, revealing a dusty corridor that seemed untouched for decades. No footprints but ours, Mac observed, shining his light on the floor. Nobody's been here for a long time. They moved carefully, weapons ready. The air was stale but breathable. Strange symbols marked the walls. Some looked human, but others were unlike anything they had seen before. Atlas, are you receiving our comm signal? Jack asked. Affirmative, Captain. The AI's voice came through clearly. I am monitoring your progress and scanning the station through your helmet cameras. Any idea what these symbols mean? Jack asked, pointing his light at a row of unusual markings. After a brief pause, Atlas replied, Some appear to be standard Earth Defense Force classification codes. Others are. I cannot translate them fully, but they show similarities to language patterns in my deeper programming. So whoever built this place also built you, Max said. That appears to be a logical conclusion. As they ventured deeper, emergency lights began to activate along the floor, responding to their presence. The station was waking up. Power systems are reactivating, Atlas reported. Station I may be initiating. This place has its own AI, Jack asked, surprised. Before Atlas could answer, they reached a large circular door, similar to the one that had hidden Atlas's core on the Phoenix. It hummed softly and slid open as they approached. The room beyond took their breath away. It was a massive chamber with a high ceiling, filled with rows of equipment and what looked like manufacturing facilities. In the center was a raised platform with a holographic display currently inactive. What is this place? Mac whispered. I believe this is the main production facility for the Project Phoenix program, Atlas replied. This is where the ship was constructed. Jack approached the central platform. As he stepped onto it, the holographic display flickered to life. A three-dimensional image of the Phoenix appeared, rotating slowly above the platform. Authorized personnel detected, a new voice said. It was similar to Atlas, but slightly different. Welcome to Cradle Facility. Status report ready for review. Jack cleared his throat. Proceed with status report. The hologram changed, showing a timeline and images of what appeared to be different stages of the Phoenix's construction. Project Phoenix was initiated in response to the discovery of advanced alien technology in Sector 17, the station AI explained. The cooperative agreement between Earth scientists and a collective splinter group led by Architect Valen allowed for the integration of technologies previously thought impossible. The collective? Jack asked. Who are they? The collective is an advanced alien civilization from the outer reaches of the galaxy, the station AI continued. While their main faction believes in technological isolation, a small group led by Architect Valen believed in sharing knowledge with promising species. Humans were chosen for their adaptability and innovative thinking. Images appeared showing what looked like humans working alongside tall, slender beings with iridescent skin. The Phoenix was designed as a prototype for a new class of vessels that would combine the best of both worlds: human ingenuity and collective advanced science. However, elements from both sides opposed this cooperation. The hologram showed scenes of conflict, explosions, and what appeared to be sabotage. On the day of the Phoenix's maiden voyage, coordinated attacks were launched against this facility and the ship itself. The Phoenix was believed destroyed, and the cradle facility was sealed and hidden within this nebula for protection. Jack and Mac exchanged looks of amazement. But the Phoenix wasn't destroyed, Jack said. Correct. The ship's ag core, Atlas, activated emergency protocols, shutting down all non-essential systems and initiating a self-repair sequence that would take decades to complete. And now we've brought it home, Mac said softly. The hologram changed again, showing detailed schematics of the Phoenix. With the Phoenix's return, restoration protocols can be accelerated. Full functionality can be restored within 72 hours. Jack's eyes widened. That would be just in time to meet Commander Ellis's deadline. Back on the Phoenix, Tom and Dana were monitoring communications when an alert sounded. Multiple ships detected at the edge of the nebula, Atlas announced. Tom checked the readings. Federation ships. They must have figured out our decoy trick. But how would they know to look in the nebula? Dana's face darkened. They wouldn't, unless someone told them. I think Commander Ellis has more at stake here than just claiming a derelict ship. Tom opened a communication channel. Jack, you need to see this. The Federation has found us. Inside the station, Jack received Tom's message and hurried back toward the entrance with Mac. Before they left, Jack downloaded all the station's data to a portable drive. We need to get the Phoenix fully operational now, he said as they rushed through the corridors. If the Federation gets their hands on this technology, they'll use it for themselves and probably destroy any evidence of the collective's involvement, Mac finished. When they reached the Phoenix, the crew gathered on the bridge as Atlas displayed the approaching Federation ships. There are 5 vessels, Atlas reported, all heavily armed. Can we fight them? Dana asked. Negative. Weapons systems are still at 47% capacity. We would be outmatched. Jack thought quickly. The station. Can it help us complete your repairs faster? Affirmative. If we dock the Phoenix in the main construction bay, the station's systems can accelerate my restoration. Estimated completion time, 36 hours. Do it, Jack ordered. Dana, take us deeper into the station. As Dana maneuvered the Phoenix into the massive construction bay at the heart of the cradle facility, mechanical arms extended to secure the ship. Systems throughout the facility hummed to life. Beginning integration and restoration process, Atlas announced as the station connected to the ship. What happens now? Tom asked, watching as energy flowed between the station and the Phoenix. Now we learn the truth, Jack said, inserting the data drive he'd taken from the station into a console. While ATLAS is being restored, let's find out exactly what the Phoenix was designed to do, and why someone wanted to make sure it was never completed. The screen filled with classified files, revealing secrets that had been hidden for decades. As the crew read through them, their expressions changed from curiosity to shock. This isn't just a warship, Tom said, his voice barely above a whisper. It's so much more. It was meant to change everything, Jack agreed, scanning through the documents. No wonder they tried to destroy it. Suddenly, a new alert sounded. Unknown vessels detected, Atlas announced. They are not Federation design. On the screen, 3 ships unlike any they had seen before appeared at the nebula's edge. They moved with impossible grace, seeming to flow through the energy discharges without difficulty. The collective, Jack realized. They found us too. As the Federation ships and the mysterious alien vessels converged on their location, Jack and his crew faced a new reality. The Phoenix wasn't just a salvage prize anymore. It was the center of a decades-old conspiracy that was about to explode around them. And they were caught right in the middle of it. "We're trapped between two enemy forces," Dana said, her voice tight with worry as she looked at the approaching ships on the main screen. Jack paced the bridge, mind racing. The Phoenix was still connected to the Cradle facility systems, undergoing repairs and upgrades. They couldn't run, and they couldn't fight. Not yet. Maybe not enemies, Tom suggested, studying the data they'd recovered. According to these files, this splinter group of the collective, the ones who helped build the Phoenix, they wanted peace and cooperation. That was 30 years ago, Mac pointed out. We don't know which faction those ships belong to now. A communication alert sounded. Incoming transmission from the Federation flagship, Atlas announced. Commander Ellis's face appeared on screen, looking grimmer than ever. "Reynolds, this is your final warning. Surrender the Phoenix and all related technology immediately." Before Jack could respond, the screen split, showing a second transmission. The image showed one of the collective, tall and slender with pale blue skin that seemed to shimmer with an inner light. Its eyes were large and completely black. "Humans," the alien said, its voice melodic and strangely calming despite the tense situation. "I am Mentor Kell of the Collective High Council. The vessel you have activated contains stolen technology. It must be returned to us immediately." Jack straightened his shoulders and addressed both transmissions. "This ship wasn't stolen. It was created through cooperation between our species. We found the records in the Cradle facility." Kell's expression shifted subtly. "Impossible. The collective does not share technology with lesser species." "But some of you did," Jack countered. "A group led by someone called Architect Balin. They believed in cooperation rather than isolation." A flicker of something, recognition, concern, passed across Kell's face. "Captain Reynolds," Ellis cut in, "whatever you think you know, you're out of your depth. That ship is classified military hardware. Your salvage claim is denied." Jack turned to Tom. "Send them both the historical files we found. Just the overview, not the technical data." As the files transferred, Jack leaned close to Dana and whispered, "How long until the Phoenix is fully operational?" "Atlas says another 4 hours," she whispered back. "But the Federation ships will be in weapons range in less than 1. On screen, both Ellis and Kell had fallen silent as they reviewed the files. Ellis looked increasingly uncomfortable, while Kell's expression was unreadable. "This changes nothing," Ellis finally said. "That technology rightfully belongs to the Federation. Your Federation didn't build it." Kell responded coldly. "These files confirm collective involvement, which means it belongs to us." Jack saw his opening. "It belongs to neither of you. The Phoenix was built by people from both our worlds who believed in something better than secrecy and control. It was meant to be the first of a new fleet that would benefit everyone." "A naive dream," Ellis scoffed. "Perhaps not," a new voice said. A third transmission appeared on the screen. This collective member was older, with deeper blue skin marked with what looked like silver patterns. "I am Elder Balin. Once I was known as Architect Balin." Jack's crew exchanged shocked glances. "Impossible," Kell said. "Architect Balin was executed for treason 30 years ago." Balin smiled slightly. "A fabrication to protect our work. I have monitored the Phoenix project from hiding all these years, waiting for the right moment." "The right moment for what?" Jack asked. "For the Phoenix to rise again," Balin said simply. "Captain Reynolds, your discovery was not accidental. Your salvage ship was guided to that asteroid field through subtle manipulations of your navigation data." "You've been watching us?" Jack asked, surprised. "I have been watching for someone worthy," Balin corrected. "Someone not bound by the prejudices and politics that doomed our project 30 years ago. Your actions, your determination to understand rather than simply possess, suggest you might be such people." Without warning, a new ship appeared near Balin's vessel, It seemed to materialize out of nowhere, far larger than any of the others. "A harvester," Kell exclaimed, actual fear in his voice. "How did it find us?" "What's a harvester?" Mac asked. "A machine race," Ellis explained, his own voice tight with concern. "They scavenge advanced technology, incorporating it into themselves. They're ruthless and nearly unstoppable." The massive harvester ship began launching smaller vessels toward both the Federation ships and the collective vessels. "All ships, defensive formation," Ellis ordered, his transmission broadcasting widely now. "Captain Reynolds," Atlas suddenly interrupted, "integration with cradle facility at 94%. Emergency protocols available." "What emergency protocols?" Jack asked. "Final transformation sequence. The Phoenix's true form can be activated now, though weapon systems will remain at 70% capacity." Jack made his decision. "Do it, Atlas." The lights on the bridge dimmed momentarily. Throughout the ship, they could hear the sound of metal shifting and systems powering up. On the external cameras, they watched in amazement as the Phoenix's hull began to change. The seemingly damaged sections smoothly reformed into sleek armored plates. Hidden weapon ports appeared along the sides. The entire ship seemed to elongate slightly, becoming more streamlined and elegant. "Phoenix transformation at 100%. Atlas announced, its voice somehow fuller and more confident. "All primary systems online. True form achieved." "Break docking clamps," Jack ordered. "Donna, take us out." The Phoenix detached from the cradle facility and glided forward, now a gleaming silver vessel that looked nothing like the battered derelict they had found. "Atlas, open a channel to all ships," Jack said. When the channel was open, Jack spoke clearly. "This is Captain Jack Reynolds of the Phoenix. The Harvester is a threat to us all. We propose a temporary alliance." "And why would we ally with you?" Kell asked suspiciously. "Because the Phoenix was designed to fight exactly this kind of threat," Jack replied. "The files we found show that the Harvesters were appearing more frequently 30 years ago. The Phoenix Project was partly created as a defense against them." As if to demonstrate his point, a Harvester attack ship fired on the Phoenix. Instead of trying to evade, the Phoenix held position. The energy weapon hit their shields, which glowed briefly, but instead of dissipating, the energy seemed to be absorbed. "Weapons charged using enemy fire," Atlas reported. "Ready to engage." "Target the Harvester attack ships only," Jack ordered. "Show them what we can do." The Phoenix moved with incredible grace, its weapons firing with precision that left both the Federation and collective forces watching in amazement. In minutes, the smaller Harvester vessels were disabled or destroyed. The main Harvester ship began to retreat, apparently recognizing the threat. "It's leaving," Donna said with relief. "Not for long." Valen's voice came through. "It will return with reinforcements, unless we act now." "What do you suggest?" Ellis asked, seeming to have forgotten his earlier hostility in the face of this greater threat. "A demonstration of what cooperation can achieve," Valen replied. "Captain Reynolds, the Phoenix carries a weapon system designed specifically against Harvester technology. Will you use it?" Jack hesitated only briefly. "Atlas, do we have such a weapon?" "Affirmative. Harmony Pulse charged at 82%. Sufficient to disable the Harvester flagship." "Do it," Jack ordered. The Phoenix's bow began to glow with swirling colors of blue and silver. A pulse of energy shot